With the introduction of Super Saiyan Rose, Zamasu coming down from the heavens to aid Black in their destruction and destroying Goku, the question that's on everyone's mind is will or how the Omni King be involved in this particular situation, especially after knowing the Omni King had given Goku a specific button in order to call him whenever he wanted him to be summoned. My theory and the shortest possible answer to this question is will Goku be pressing the button to summon the Omni King? My answer, no. Having to go back and look at the entire history of Dragon Ball, Goku has never been one to ask help from anybody in any particular situation, especially knowing the fact that he himself can get the job done no matter how dire the situation may be. Even with that, risking his own life, Goku, I believe, would go all out rather than requesting help from anyone else. Even going as far as using the fusion technique, I do believe that Goku's last resort will be using fusion other than summoning the most powerful character within Dragon Ball Super. And with that being said, having to summon the Omni King would be a bit too easy, especially knowing how powerful the Omni King is. But you also have to ask yourself, even if the Omni King shows up, would he not be mad at Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, and anyone else from hiding this information from him? Would he not be upset on the fact that this was actually going on behind his back, unaware of the situation that a Kaioshin has went against his role and furthering the destruction of humanity, and thus even having to aid someone like Black who wants to destroy the entire universe, creating their own paradise? I do believe that the Omni King in some way, shape, or form will be summoned, but it will not be from Goku himself. And of course, the reason for that is because Goku is always known for doing things himself, and of course, even if that means taking his own life and sacrificing his own humanity, I think Goku would rather perish in battle than request the help of the Omni King. Now, this also raises tons of questions. Well, how would the Omni King be summoned in the first place? One theory here is the fact that maybe Zamasu may have seen something drop out of Goku's pocket, picks it up, and asks him what this is. Goku warns Black and Zamasu not to press the button, for it'll create a dire situation for both Zamasu and Black. Thus, Zamasu piques his curiosity, pressing the button, summoning the Omni King. Now, again, you have to also bear in mind, this button could hold lots of significance and importance as to what plays off in the future of the coming episodes, especially with Zeno's arrival after having to see what had happened. I do believe that this one theory could hold importance as Black and or Zamasu presses the button summoning this being. Of course, Zamasu may be aware of this being, he may not be aware of Zeno's existence. Even if he is, that would create a very dire situation for both Black and Zamasu, because now they're going to have to create a situation to where either A, they can escape Zeno's wrath, or B, try their best to take him on, and hopefully they can actually succeed in battle. But nevertheless, the second theory here is the fact that maybe during battle, while Black is fighting Goku and or Zamasu is also helping Black aid their fight against Goku, somehow someone manages to punch Goku directly where the button may be lying, thus summoning the Omni King by accident. Now again, this is not too far-fetched of an idea, because Goku, obviously enough, still holds the button somewhere on his body, maybe in his pockets. So what if someone, maybe Black, manages to kick Goku, accidentally pressing the button? What if Zamasu decides to also punch Goku directly in the chest or somewhere where there might be an opening to where Goku carries this button, and in fact thus pressing the button, summoning the Omni King by accident? And even with that being said, even if the Omni King had arrived, do you really believe in your heart of hearts that the Omni King will directly be involved right off the get-go? How do we all know that the Omni King won't sit back and watch and simply observe as Goku is fighting Black off him, and maybe towards the very end, if the situation arises, the Omni King can simply step up and saying enough is enough and completely rid the situation of Black and Zamasu? Again, it's not too far-fetched of an idea. Is Goku directly going to press the button? My chances and my theory on that are very, very low, because again, you have to ask yourself, it'll be too easy for Goku to ask the help of the most powerful being in the multiverse to simply show up and do his job for him. Again, keep in mind, this is Goku's fight and not Zeno's, thus Zeno doesn't have to be directly involved in this battle. However, as we already know through facts, anything that seems to piss off the Omni King will result in total destruction. Theory number 3 lies within future Trunks. Future Trunks might be the one to press that button, thus summoning the Omni King, especially if he has knowledge that this specific button will summon the most powerful of all to show up and possibly help them in battle. Now keep in mind, Trunks is the type of person to go out there and seek the help of others, as we've seen with the androids when he went back into the past warning everyone about them, as we have seen with Cell, and of course as we've seen with Black. He often goes back into the past to seek the help of our heroes, because there might be situations to where he can't ultimately match up to, thus requiring the help of others. So future Trunks seems like the type of person, especially being put in a situation to where it's life or death, that he might be the one to channel and call Zeno here in order to help them in their situation. Keep in mind, Goku doesn't seem like the type of person that would press the button. However, Trunks does seem the type of person that he would, because Trunks often requires the help of others in order to aid him in any situation that he's in. Despite any situation, once the Omni King arrives, he will be putting everything into question. He will be questioning Zamasu as to why he, a Kaioshin, is partaking in these situations. He will also be curious and asking questions as to why Black and Goku look exactly the same. Obviously enough, the Omni King had thought he had made a friend, so obviously enough, having to see this Black character without insinuating and guessing that the fact that this isn't the real Goku, that might take him off, because at first, the Omni King had thought he made a friend, and now he might be really pissed off knowing that Goku the whole time was lying to him, thus doing things behind his back. Keep in mind, I'm pretty sure that Zeno is aware of these situations, and the reason for that is because he was also aware of the Universal God of Destruction tournament, in which case he was watching the entire time, and thus showing up at the very end. So how do we know for an irrefutable fact that the Omni King has not been watching this entire time, thus not telling anyone about the situations, just simply sitting there and watching everything unfold until he deems fit to step in and simply put everything to an end? Keep in mind, nobody ever really realized that the Omni King was presently there watching this Universal tournament unfold as Goku fought Hit, so who's to really say that the Omni King doesn't have any knowledge as to what's going on? You have to also ask yourself, if this guy sits on the very peak of power, don't you guys also believe that he would also know everything that's going on, that somebody somewhere would inform him as to what's going on for the greater good of the universe? I do also believe that at some given point, and again, this might be theory, that the Omni King is aware of everything that's going on, but just simply sitting back and watching and observing, because he himself has the power to make change happen. As we saw, he had destroyed multiple universes before. He has the power to do whatever he wants, and of course, with that being said, I do believe that the Omni King will be showing up during this arc at some given point, either due to observation or due to put everything to an end. Of course, with that being said, the chain of command has been broken, as Zamasu was supposed to be a Kaioshin in training, but instead he went completely rogue in cahoots with Black Goku. But even with that being said, at some point the Omni King will make his presence known. But you also have to ask yourself, would Goku, someone who's always wanted to do things on his own, simply press the button as a scapegoat to further help him get out of this situation? I don't think that Goku would ever require the help of anyone else. Again, I think that he would much rather die than have someone else fight his battles for him. Thus, I believe at least either the button will be pressed by accident, or perhaps maybe Zamasu and Black will press the button out of curiosity, given the circumstance that it did come out of Goku's pocket. So they might be thinking, A, it might be the time machine, so they want to go ahead and destroy it before they go back in time, or B, they might simply think Goku has something up his sleeve, so they want to make sure that he doesn't, thus worsening both Zamasu and Black's situation as soon as the Omni King arrives. Of course, the Gods of Destruction will also be involved. We are not entirely sure how. People might be asking themselves, well, what about Vegeta? Vegeta is another very prideful character that I believe would never require the help of anyone else. He would much rather die in battle similar to Goku than require the help of other beings to help them. Keep in mind, this is Vegeta's battle as well. This is not Trunks we're talking about here. Trunks, Goku, and Vegeta are very different when it comes to mentality. Goku and Vegeta would much rather perish in battle than require the help of anyone, rather than Trunks, who would much rather survive, thus requiring the help of other people to help better his situation. So what do you guys think? Comment down below. Do you guys believe that A, Goku will press the button, B, Zamasu or Black will press the button, C, the button will be pressed by accident during mid-battle, or D, the Omni King is already aware of the situation and he's been there the entire time, or possibly even arrives because he already knows of the nature of the gravity of the situation, so he just wants to go on ahead and put things to an end. That way we can go on ahead and just further our way forward into the Omni tournament. Comment down below, let me know your thoughts, guys. Once again, thank you all for watching. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more daily uploads. If you guys are stoked for the coming episodes of Dragon Ball Super, don't forget to punch that like button square in the face. Pretend that the like button is Zamasu's face and you want to just punch him right in the fucking nose, because obviously enough, Zamasu wants to kill all ninja, aka humans, so of course that includes you. Punch that like button square in the face, guys. Again, keep in mind, Black's mentality, Zamasu's mentality, we are not entirely too sure as to who the big boss is pulling the strings here. Is it Zamasu? Is it Black? But needless to say, if the Omni King arrives, there is is no other greater threat than the Omni King, because even the gods of destruction, the Hakayoshins, are fearful of this deity because the Omni King has the power to change things. And of course, with that being said, if the Omni King makes his presence known, he will indeed change the very course of this battle. Not unless, of course, Zamasu or Black challenge the Omni King directly, which again, none of us are writing the story, so we're not entirely too sure as to what direction they're going in. But keep in mind, if the Omni King is presently there is going to be friction between Zamasu and the Omni King. There is going to be friction between the Omni King and, of course, Black Goku. And with that being said, even with Goku's mentality, Black Goku wants to rid the entire universe of ninja and of anyone he doesn't deem fit. That way he can create his own paradise. So keep in mind, guys, this is going to be going in a completely crazy direction, but I don't think that in my heart of hearts that Goku, even if he's down and out, he has a hole blown in his chest, I don't think that Goku will ever press the button because he's too prideful. And of course, with that being said, he also wants to do things his way. He would much rather perish in battle than require the help of others. This is Goku's fight alongside Trunks and Vegeta, so I don't think Goku will be the one to press the button intentionally. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching once again. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day, and I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Take it easy, guys.